Celia, I'm going to read your energetic signature. So when I went into your energy field, I saw this green dragon. It was very slim, okay? And it kind of looked like the green lizards that we have here that you can find outside, but obviously it was like a lot bigger than that. And it was flying in this circle in the sky. And when I looked down, I saw this young girl. She was in her teenage years, and she almost was like maiden-esque, if you will, and she had a crown on her head. Now, she is a different incarnation of you, okay? So when I walked up to her, she said, "Oh, my angel," and she was talking to her dragon, who she called her angel, and it flew down, and then she put a flower crown on top of it, and they were just like all giddy. And I walked over and introduced myself, and I told her why I was here on your behalf, and I was asking her if there was anything that she wanted to relay to you, and she said, "Oh yeah, she's probably here for this." And I said, "Okay," and she handed me a box. And inside of the box, it was like this big. She opened it, and I want you to imagine if you saw an egg, like a two-dimensional egg, kind of that type of texture almost, and the color, but it was actually split in two parts. And so, like, it had two rounded edges and then kind of like these jagged pieces on the insides. It almost looked like a friendship bracelet. I don't know if you had one, or a friendship necklace as a child, and it kind of looks like that as well. And you pull them apart, and one of your friends wears one, the other one wears the other, and then you put it together, it forms a connection. And she said, "You asked her to hold it for you." And I said, "Okay." I said, "What does it do?" And she said, "Oh, you need to talk to the other version of her." Okay, so this is going to be a different timeline. And she said, she's over there. And what she really meant was she was in a different section of your Akashic field. And so I thanked her very much for meeting with me and forming the connection. So I walked further into your energy field, and I saw this really beautiful elemental being, very kind of fairy-esque, had these like really big wings, but more so an energy than an actual physical body. I mean, I walked over to her and I said, "Hello," I said, "I'm here to learn about whatever this is." Okay, this little piece. And she said, "Oh, I'm actually a future version of Celia." And I said, "Oh, great. Okay." So time is not linear. Like, all of the different incarnations are happening at once, and they're all interconnected with one another. So technically they're all you and you are them. However, they have different perspectives and different understandings. But sometimes you have a core group of incarnations that share similar lineages, and you're more closely related to one another. And so that's what she was trying to help me interpret, was that she's from your direct lineage in this incarnation, okay, but a future version of you, like way far in the future. She told me that this was a location device. And I said, "Well, why do you want me to give it to her?" And she said, "Because then she'll have it sooner." I was like, "Okay." So she said that she holds one of the pieces, and then you get the other one. And then they actually link to one another so that you can communicate with her, so that you can hear her more clearly. I forgot to mention, okay, so, because this is important, the different version of you that has the dragon friend, she wasn't really concerned about how I had gotten to where she was, which was really interesting. And I had started to tell her that I was a time traveler, and she's like, "I've already met a time traveler." And I was like, "Oh, who?" And that's when she told me about this future version of you. So this other incarnation is a time traveler, and she can traverse through different times throughout history, okay, project herself there. So that is important, because that is a gift that you can learn from her. Okay, this future version that you can channel directly, and that she can mentor you on, and then you will be able to internally astral project to different times in history. And then she told me that this device was to help with bilocation, which is another form of astral projection. She said, "You're going to need it for training." And I was like, "Training for what?" What was hilarious was all of a sudden this elemental fairy-esque being put on this lab coat and these glasses like you would see like a scientist in this incarnation. And we were in like this medical building all of a sudden, and she said, hold up your hand. And I held it up, and the previous reading I did right before yours, I actually got activated with something, and I had all these tiny black dots on my hand. And when she was like, what is that? And I was telling her what it was, and she's like, can I analyze that? And I was like, sure, that's fine. And so she actually took a like scraping of it and then like put it in her pocket, like in this bottle, so that she could look at it later. She was very interested in that. And then when I looked down, I saw a lake, a scrying lake, and scrying water or mirrors are things that you can look into and see past, present, and future. It's giving very much like mediums that you see on TV with like the crystal balls and things like that. And so when I was looking down into the lake, it was so cool because I was looking through in this incarnation, through your brain, looking at someone else's brain, way, 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 way deep down into their subconscious. And this fairy-esque being said that you have the gift and ability to perceive very deep into people's Akashic records through their subconscious and help bring forth new ideas and new concepts and new advancements in our history. The reason that we were in this medical type of facility, it was because she was telling me that one day you're going to meet somebody and you're going to have a conversation with them, and it's not something that you're necessarily, well, now you might be like consciously aware of it when it happens, but you're going to say something that makes this person have a new idea. It's like deep in their Akasha fields, okay, from like a different time and space, but you are going to say something in conversation that recalls that for them, and then they are going to create something in our history that really changes the game in the medical field. Like, it's going to help so many people, and it's based off of that conversation and your gift and ability and that method that you have of pulling things up like that through the Akasha field, because the things that you are able to access for others and pull those strings for them that they need are things that are outside of our current collective consciousness. Like, these are things that they can channel and download and integrate that are coming from different planetary systems, from different galaxies or different planets. It's advancements that we don't necessarily have right now, and it's not with everybody, okay, even though you can help everybody through conversations in this way, but there's very specific persons who are keepers and holders of these advancements, so you're kind of like unlocking the key for them. And just like in normal conversations with people, you can also help them have like really expansive ideas and new concepts and new ways of doing things, new tools and resources. She said if you want a human terminology for it, because we like to put labels on things, she said you could call yourself a new thought coach, because you're helping people have new thoughts and coaching them through that. And she said it's not something that you have to really spend a whole lot of time like over analyzing. This is something that you naturally do with conversations with people, but when you're consciously aware of it now, of like, oh, I help people achieve their goals by bringing things through their Akasha fields and the greater Akasha fields, you are going to be more conscientious of it and notice within themselves and within you when you feel that frequency shift of like, oh, dang, they got it. And she also said that you can do this within your own fields, okay? Like, reach down in your subconscious and pull up new things for yourself to help you in this incarnation. And I asked her why this other version of you with the dragon didn't need this locator anymore, and she said, oh, because we're done with her training. Like, she's graduated and you are going to be her new apprentice, and you're what's known as a retriever activator, is what she said. And how you can develop this is going in meditation and forming that connection with her so that she can help you download in everything that you need. And so I want to thank you so much for letting me read for you, and I hope you have an amazingly magical day.